Today I'm at Manhattan Motor Cars in New York City, and I was just handed the key to this brand new 2019 Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. So today I'm gonna take you on a walk around of this car, showing you the outside and then the inside. And it's currently parked next to a brand new Huracan Evo, so if you haven't seen my video on this car yet, be sure to check it out. But for today we're gonna be checking out the Aventador SVJ. So here's the key to the car. You've got two basic functions. You can lock the car and you can unlock the car. So if we lock the car, and if we unlock the car, so this SVJ is in Nero Granatus, which is an ad personam paint, and it's pretty difficult to see on camera, but it is black with what appears to be red flakes throughout the paint, which looks super unique, and this is definitely a paint that must be appreciated in person. If we take a look at the window sticker here, the total for this SVJ is $620,785, so it's definitely not cheap, but that's not uncommon for SVJs. They start at $517,770, and most of them have over $100,000 in options, just like this one has. So today we're going to be checking out all of these options. SVJ stands for Super Veloce Jota, and it's the successor to the Aventador SV. So Lamborghini gives their cars these names such as Super Veloce Jota, to denote that they are track-focused supercars. And once we check out the interior, you'll see that that's very evident. So the SVJ has a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12 engine that makes 760 horsepower and 531 pound-feet of torque. So this car is definitely a beast, and it's the last naturally aspirated V12 Lamborghini has produced. They recently unveiled the Sion, which has a V12 engine, but it is a hybrid, so this is the last naturally aspirated V12 engine from Lamborghini. This car also has all-wheel drive, all-wheel steering, active aerodynamics, active aero vectoring, and Pirelli Trofeo R tires. The Aventador SV, which came out in 2016, weighed 3,900 pounds, and it had 740 horsepower and 509 pound-feet of torque. And now in 2019 we have the Aventador SVJ, which weighs 2 pounds heavier than the SV, but it is quicker. It can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.5 seconds, whereas the SV can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.6 seconds. The SV ran a quarter mile in 10.4 seconds at 134.7 miles per hour, while the SVJ did it 0.1 seconds faster, traveling at 136.4 miles per hour. So the SVJ has 20 more horsepower than the SV. It's 0.1 seconds quicker in the 0 to 60 mile per hour time, and it's also 0.1 seconds faster than the SV for a quarter mile time. When this car was tested on the Nürburgring racetrack in Germany, it took the crown from the Porsche GT2 RS for the production car fastest lap record. So now let's take a look at the outside of this naturally aspirated V12 beast. So taking a look at the outside of the Aventador SVJ, what's most noticeable is that the SVJ has these two outlets on the front bumper, whereas the SV did not have any outlets on the front bumper. You also have the Aerodynamica Lamborghini Active system at work, which gives you active aerodynamics, and that actually stands for Lamborghini Active Aerodynamics in Italian. So you've got ALA pieces in the front as well as in the rear with the rear wing. So the SVJ is the most aerodynamically improved Lamborghini yet. And something important to note is that the SVJ is only one of 900 cars, so they only made 900 SVJ coupes. You have this massive air intake on the side of the car just behind the door, and you have the Italian tricolore on the side of the car here. And if we come around to the back of the car, you've got your SVJ logo right there, which can be a sticker or it can be painted onto the car. And here's the back of the SVJ. What an aggressive, sporty look. This rear diffuser is completely carbon fiber, and you have a high-mounted exhaust on the SVJ. On the SV, the exhaust was down here. There were 4 pipes next to each other, but now you've got 2 pipes mounted up here, which is much higher than where they were mounted on the SV, which was down there. You also have tons of mesh to let the air flow out of the car, and of course, your Y-shaped taillights. You've also got a carbon fiber rear wing back here with the active aerodynamics, and you've got the ALA branding right there. Here's the view of the 6.5 liter naturally aspirated V12 engine with the firing order of the cylinders on the engine. So now let's run through the options that this specific SVJ has. So this SVJ has the Larion forged wheels, and they're 20 inches in the front, 21 inches in the rear. You've also got red center locks and red brake calipers. So the red brake calipers are a $1,400 option, while these wheels are a $5,200 option. The wheel cap covers and carbon fiber are an $800 option, and the SVJ does have carbon ceramic brakes. Carbon fiber mirror housings are a $2,800 option, and the X-frame and T engine in carbon fiber is a $5,600 option. So not only do you have carbon fiber for the rear wing, you also have optional carbon fiber parts over here and inside the engine as well. You've also got carbon fiber side skirts along the side of the car, and you also have Aventador SVJ branding on both sides of the car. So now let's take a look at the options on the interior. So of course you've got the iconic scissor doors. And these doors are much lighter than the doors on this car, the Aventador S Roadster, because this car is designed for weight saving, so they're completely carbon fiber, whereas this door is covered in leather, and it has some carbon fiber on it, but it's mostly leather. And this interior is focused on luxury, with tons of leather and the comfort seats, whereas this is focused on performance and weight savings, with the lightweight bucket seats and the carbon fiber doors. So the Rosso Alala seat belts are an $1,800 option. The travel package is a $1,300 option. The carbon skin package is a $4,200 option, and what that gives you is carbon skin on the roof, and of course you've got a carbon fiber tub for the SVJ, and you also have carbon fiber illuminated door sills with Aventador branding on them. And what's cool about these is that the illumination is red, which is definitely unique. The Lamborghini Sensonum sound system is a $4,200 option, and colored foot plates are a $1,400 option. So as you can see, the SVJ doesn't have floor mats, and that's to save weight. So instead you have these carbon fiber foot plates, and to get them in a specific color is a $1,400 option. The colored SVJ logo in the interior is a $700 option, and the style package is an $8,400 option. Internal cross stitching, which can be seen here and along the dashboard, that's a $1,400 option, and the fire extinguisher is an $800 option. So now that we ran through the optional equipment on this SVJ, let's hop inside and take a look at the interior. So to pull the door down, there's a strap right there, so you just pull this. So right now I'm sitting inside the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, the last naturally aspirated V12 Lambo. The fire extinguisher, which I just mentioned, is over there, and that's an $800 option. So right in front of you, you've got your steering wheel with a leather and Alcantara. You've got leather on the sides and Alcantara on the bottom and on the top. You've also got a red 12 o'clock center marker and some switches and buttons on both sides of the steering wheel to control the instrument cluster and the infotainment system. To the left of the steering wheel, you've got switches for your headlights. You've got one AC vent on the driver's side, two in the center, and one on the passenger side. This SVJ is equipped with the Lamborghini Sensonum sound system, which is a $4,200 option, so you'll find speakers for that on each door. The door itself is completely carbon fiber, so it's very bare bones, but Lamborghini did manage to put some buttons on here to unlock and lock the car, and you also have a switch to adjust the mirrors. Down here is how you open the door, so you push down on this black piece and then lift up on the silver lever, and then the door goes up. So the door goes up this much, and then you just have to push it all the way up to that position, and then to pull it down. So like I mentioned, this door is noticeably lightweight compared to the Aventador S door. There's tons of Alcantara in this interior on the A-pillars, for the sun visors, and all along the dashboard. You also have leather in this interior on the dashboard here, and in the center of the roof liner. You also have leather in the center here, along with Alcantara. These are the performance seats, which are basically carbon fiber bucket seats that aren't very adjustable compared to the comfort seats, which are electric and heated and can be adjusted several different ways. You can basically just move these seats forwards or backwards, and that's about it. So these seats are definitely focused on performance and holding the driver and passenger in place when they're ripping this car around the track. They're primarily Alcantara with some red leather in the center, as well as red leather on the side here. So you've got a big net that extends behind both seats, as well as a net behind each seat individually, as well as a cup holder, which is part of the travel package. And that's about all you get when it comes to storage. There's no glove box or storage in the doors, so all you have are the nets behind the seats. In the center control stack here, you've got loads of carbon fiber surrounding all of the different buttons and switches. So if we start down here, you've got your parking brake, the button to pop it into reverse, and the button to pop it into manual shifting mode. Over here you have a turn dial and 4 buttons to control the infotainment system, and these buttons also control the infotainment system, along with these 4 buttons on either side. So you've got navigation, info, car, and setup, and on the right side you've got radio, media, name, and telephone. In the center you just flip this up to access the engine start stop button, and right above that you have your buttons for your different driving modes. You've got Strada, Sport, Corsa, and Ego. Strada's like comfort mode, Corsa is like race mode, and Sport is in between Strada and Corsa, and Ego is a customizable mode, so you can customize your steering, your suspension, stuff like that. Right above that you have buttons for the climate control, so you can put it on automatic, turn off the AC, adjust where you want the air to be directed, turn on the AC, and turn on the front defogger. And this turn dial in the center allows you to adjust the temperature of the air that comes out. And right above that you've got general switches for the car, so the leftmost switch and the rightmost switch is for the windows. So this switch is for the driver's window and this one is for the passenger's window. Right next to that you have the switch for the front axle lift system, ESC, hazard lights, and eco start stop. And right above that you have the screen for the infotainment system, so let's turn that on. So now the infotainment system and instrument cluster have come to life. So now I can demonstrate how you change between the different driving modes. So right now it's set to Strada, and it tells you that in the instrument cluster right there. So if we change the driving mode to Sport, Corsa, if we go back to Sport, and then back to Strada, so you can see the instrument cluster changes a little bit as you go between the different driving modes. And you've got your tachometer in the center with the G-force meter on the lower left and your miles per hour on the lower right, and to the right is your gas gauge. So now let's run it through the infotainment system. So right now it's on navigation. If we go to info, if we go to car, and you can change between the different options with this turn dial right here. If we go to setup, if we go to radio, you can adjust the volume with this switch right here, and you can change between the different radio stations with this central turn dial. So you just turn it to the left. If we go to media, you can plug in your phone to play your music. If we go to name, you can pull up a directory, and finally if we go to telephone, you can connect your phone via Bluetooth to the car to make or receive phone calls. The $1,400 cross-stitching option on the interior is visible on the dashboard where you have Alcantara and leather, and the cross-stitching also carries to the sun visors, which are Alcantara. Right above your rear view mirror you've got cabin lights and garage door opener buttons. And not only do you have carbon fiber on the doors and in the center control stack, you also have visible carbon fiber on the performance seats, and that cross-stitching is also on the side of the seats. So that's the 2019 Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. If anyone's interested in this car, come see Viviana at Manhattan Motor Cars in New York City and she'll help you out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.